start with James. You're just going to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you came about using Kérastase and why, you know, the ambassador role that you have with them, and just a little bit about your salons.
Good evening, everyone. I'm James Galvin. I work at Daniel Galvin, where I've been for the last 26 years, which seems like a lifetime. I've been working with Kerastase as Kérastase ambassador for the last 3.5 years, which has been a fantastic opportunity for me. And absolutely loved every single minute of it. We have 3 salons based in Kensington, Selfridges and Marylebone.
Can you tell us a little bit about who you've worked with? You do some name dropping.
I hate name dropping, but as I'm asked.
He gets really embarrassed about this, and I'm like, please,
awkward.
Can you tell everyone?
You know, okay. So there's just a few: Tandy Newton, Keira Knightley, Alexa Chung.
Yeah.
A few.
What's Keira's hair like?
Keira's hair is quite fine.
Yeah.
It's quite fine, but it's kind of good quality. It's fine in the sense that there's actually, you know, the texture's fine, but there's quite a lot of it. It's good hair to work with. It's smooth.
Amazing. So we want this session to be quite interactive, so if anyone's got any questions, please do just put your hands up, ask anyone on the panel. But I think I've got a few, so we're going to just dive straight in. So why is it so important, James, do you think, that you should go into the salon and have a professional treatment and experience and advice?
I think, Lauren, it's because, you know, the public don't necessarily know the science behind hair and kind of why their hair is kind of reacting in certain ways. So kind of going into the salon, see a professional, somebody that's been trained, somebody that knows their job, somebody that's kind of really kind of understanding of hair types can kind of give you the advice you need and just the right guidance.
Yeah. And what do you think is like the most common hair problem that you see?
Common hair problem. I mean, I'd say probably kind of being in London, probably it would be kind of dryness in the hair, definitely split, broken hair.
And is that just because it's city environment, or?
I think it's a number of factors. It will be city environment. It will be the fact that there's so much pollution within the air. People live a fast life in London. People don't necessarily have a lot of time to spend doing their hair, so kind of rushing their hair, not kind of putting the amount of treatments on their hair, which is really, really important. And that's kind of where everybody lets themselves down, is by not doing enough treatments.
Yeah. And long hair has been trending quite a bit on Instagram. Like, there's an amazing stat since 2012. There's like 20 million long hair hashtags. But we were talking earlier about the sort of myth busting behind growing your hair longer. You were saying that actually you need to cut it more.
Yeah, it sounds bizarre, doesn't it, really? But you do. I mean, people forget to cut their hair and they kind of leave it for longer periods of time. And then what happens is the ends get thin, then they break and they split. And then there's no weight pulling the hair down. Whereas when the ends are blunter and you have your hair cut regularly, the hair is heavier. So naturally, it kind of feels like it is actually growing. So I would always say kind of every 2 months, cut a month's growth off. You know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
What's a month's growth like in average?
It varies. I'd say every 2 months about 1 inch, so half an inch.
Yeah.
And would you say that everyone has different rates of hair growth, or is that also a fallacy?
No. People will have different kind of rates of hair growth. Some people's hair grows really, really fast. Some hair just doesn't seem to grow. It's kind of realised. I mean, people know whether they've got fast or slow growing hair.
And how do you think people can deal with that, or is that just genetics and you just have to be happy with what you have?
In the sense of how fast their hair's growing.
Yeah, you know, you get a lot of people who are like, I want my hair to grow quicker.
Or they say they can't grow their hair.
Or they can't grow their hair longer.
Well, with Kérastase, they have a range called Extensioniste, which is fantastic for kind of...
That's the new one.
Which is their latest, yes, the newest one.
And is that for people who are growing that specifically?
It really is specifically for people that are kind of growing their hair. It helps to strengthen, and it actually kind of proves, and over a period of time, that you will get a certain amount of extra kind of hair growth. I've been using
let's all write that one down.
Yeah,
I've never met a woman who says, oh, I don't really want my hair to grow. So that's quite a good one, isn't it?
Is anyone trying to grow their hair at the moment? That wants, yeah?
Trying to grow it.
Kathleen, how long have you had long hair? I've only ever known you with long hair. 2 periods of my life when I haven't. First, when I went to university and I thought I was being a bit of a rebel, and I had that shaved sides and
long on top, but short all over. And then I think after my second child was born, it went a bit here, which I think it, you know, it was fine, it was nice, but my hairdresser always says to me, "You're a long-haired girl, Kathleen," and I think,
I love that.
and I take that as a compliment because he's more of a 5-point bob.
He loves chopping people.
He loves chopping people's hair off. So I kind of think, right, okay, that's okay. And so I trust him when I go in for a trim. But I do put off the trimming for as long as possible.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So how often do you?
But because I colour it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was like 20, nothing, I was able to like step out of the shower, wet hair, and it would dry and it would look like yours. It was just. So it would look. People would say, "Have you ironed it? Have you?" How it just looked. I'm a little bit Asian, so I think I got that gene from my mum that, you know, gives you good conditioned hair. But of course, years and years of. In fact, your dad was the first one who gave me highlights.
Was it really?
Yeah, because I started going grey, and so he said, "This will kind of ease you into the grey a bit. You know, you won't need to get. Now I have to get it done every 3 weeks. So every 3 to 4 weeks, my colour. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
High maintenance.
Yeah, that is very high maintenance.
So high maintenance. And I'm going to have to keep doing this job for a very long time because of the level of... And I know that's another issue, and will I go grey? Yes, probably at one stage. I'm just not quite ready for it yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you ever just let it go grey?
Yeah, but I think when I do it, I want to have it... I want to be like Grandma Dead or Grandma Dread. Is it Grandma Dead or Grandma Dead and Donnie Darko? That slightly. I want it to be the kind of like mad and long and a big statement. So I'm not. I think I'm not. I think now it will just look like I'm a bit ill. I think I have to wait. Maybe I can stretch it another 5 to 10 and then do it. But so that's why condition and everything. I mean, it was fascinating. We sat down and I kind of have always dipped in and out of Kérastase over the years because. And for me, it's quite a complicated range as a consumer. You need help. You need not just the person at the backwash saying, "Oh, it's Kérastase." You need to like actually, for me anyway, you have to sit down and have someone talk you through. Like I didn't know that this one is a leave-in conditioner, which would be great for detangling, but that's not how it's sold specifically. It's sold more as a blow-dry treatment. So Sorry, it was a very long answer.
No. I can't even remember what I asked you now, but
you asked me if I'd ever had short hair. And you got all that for free.
It's so funny because that you're so high maintenance with your hair now, and I'm not, but I used to be incredibly high maintenance with my hair. And I always used to say that my conversations, I'd get excited about hair conversations, and I'd always say that my conversations about hair would make War and Peace look like a subtitle.
Really?
Because I'm just obsessed with hair, and I want to know what everyone's doing with their hair, and you know, even now I'm looking at all the different hairs, and I like you know, it's very exciting for me. And I spent most of my student loan, most of it went to my hairdresser. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I spent a lot of money there. And I found short hair incredibly high maintenance because I've been getting really obsessed with it. Like, you know, it was cut into a, I don't know if anyone remembers this, there was this singer called Toni Braxton, and I had my hair cut like I was obsessed. So the moment a tiny bit was out of place and grew, I was back at my hair salon. You know, forget the lectures. I was at my hair salon, and it was just a lot of work. So I grew my hair so I wouldn't have to keep on going to the salon as often.
But now you've got quite a complicated routine.
Yeah, kind of. But it's still less... My routine is a little bit complex, but it's still less high maintenance than it was back then. So now my hair is completely natural. So I don't straighten it chemically, or I don't even blow dry it. So it's quite simplistic in that sense. And that's been for about 5 years now, to be honest.
What made you decide to wear your hair natural?
Oh, gosh. I think it was a number of things. So as a woman of colour, women of colour spend a fortune on hair anyway. And, but we also experiment a lot with, you know, extensions and, you know, in its different formats and so on. And we also do a lot of treatments and so on, but we do use a lot of extensions. And I think after a while, I just kind of thought I just want to stop hiding behind all this hair. You know, my dad would always be like, "This hair, whose hair is it?" So, you know, he was like really funny about the fact that it's not your hair, it didn't grow out of your scalp. So I'm just like, it is my hair. I bought it, you know. But yeah, so I kind of just got bored of that, and I wanted to sort of get used to me with the hair that actually grows out of my scalp in its natural form. And I think that sort of inspired it, amongst lots of different things. I had children, I didn't have as much time to spend on my hair and so on. So that also inspired it. So yeah, my hair ritual or regime, sometimes it feels like a regime, is very similar to the process you would go through with skincare.
Yeah.
So with skincare, I love to layer. I'm a real layering cream, like layering queen. I can't have like one pot of cream and just slap it on and that's enough. No, there's one bit and there's another bit and there's another bit and then if I break out, then I realize I've gone over the top. But but that's what I do with my hair, and with natural hair, it is high maintenance in that respect. But the whole thing with hair health is that you find when your hair is natural, actually you need to pay much more attention to the health of your hair, and you need to think about all the different sort of stages. So steaming your hair with certain products, leave-in products, all of that sort of stuff. I have a lot of hair stuff going on.
And can you just talk about your, was it
Oh, yes.
So we had this thing where we were talking about, you were mentioning, and we'll go down the line and talk about this wonderful treatment that's done into the fusion dose that's done in store. And I said, yeah, within the black community, we have this thing that, you do a treatment before your shampoo. And because it's before your shampoo, so it's called a pre-poo. So it sounds really hideous, but it's like everyone says it like it's the most normal thing, a pre-poo. So I always do a pre-poo. You always have a... You have a treatment before the actual shampoo, and then you have all the other layers of sort of treatment.
I'm going to start telling my clients that tomorrow. See how they respond.
Yes.
Yes. Put it on your menu, the hair menu, a pre-poo. Yeah.
So just going back to the physio dose, is that the sort of thing that you would start with when a client comes into you and they say, what am my hair feels damaged, or they've got like different concerns? What's the kind of process that you would go down?
I mean, you have to kind of just analyse the hair for kind of exactly what's going on. I mean, there's normally a number of factors, but when it comes to product, a good, quick go-to is always the physio dose. And the physio dose, if people aren't familiar with it, it combats your primary and your secondary kind of issues with your hair. So kind of, say for instance, I saw Lauren today and Lauren came in, so the ends were feeling a little bit dry, so we made the primary one, which is the most important thing, because obviously condition normally is kind of the most important thing. And then Lauren feels that her hair gets a little bit flat, so we went for one that kind of creates a little bit of volume. But within the range, you can have kind of 20 different options of kind of what you can actually do to it. So there's something that will kind of
Physio dose.
Physio dose.
It's like a prescription for your own kind of hair type, basically. And there's, you don't always have to kind of have the same one, because hair goes through different stages and it kind of changes. So as it changes, you can kind of change your prescription. And only recently, Kerastase launched their one that you can take home, because it used to be just an in-salon treatment on its own. Whereas now you can actually have it done with the salon, you can take it home, you can do it yourself. And it's as quick as like 3, 4, 5 minutes on your hair, and makes such a big difference.
Explain how you actually use it when you take it home. So at what point in the sort of stage of your sort of hair washing ritual does it come in? It comes,
I mean, if you've had it done in salon, you should probably give it maybe 3 to 5, 6 washes maybe, depending whether you wash your hair kind of twice and what kind of shampoo you're using kind of to wash your hair. But it's so easy to kind of do at home. It's very, very easy. It just comes in a little vial when you pour it in, and then you just spray it all over your hair. After you've shampooed and conditioned your hair, you apply that and just rinse it off.
Oh, so it's the final step, is it? Yeah. Or you condition?
So you don't have to have a conditioner?
You don't have to have a conditioner.
Oh, right,
you don't have to have a conditioner.
Okay.
But if you did, you'd spritz on and then put the conditioner on?
Yes.
And there's lots of different combinations.
20 different combinations that you can kind of have, It sounds confusing, actually, but it's not, because there's only kind of, there's 5 kind of main ones, and then there's lots of the small ones, which you can just mix and match, basically. I mean, that's quite a bad way of describing it, mix and match, but that's what it is.
But which is what I tend to do, and we were talking about this earlier, we tend to do this, we all sort of agreed, we tend to mix and match from lots of the different sort of sections. So there's a cleansing conditioner here, which I love. I mean, it's specifically for it says unruly curly hair, which mine can be a little bit sometimes. But then I might use something else from another
You liked the look of that
collection.
one.
Yeah, I
We
love
both
this.
liked that one.
It's a resurfacing strengthening milk, and it's for damaged hair. And not that my hair is necessarily damaged, but sometimes when it just has that brittleness or that dryness, and that could be post-holiday, it could be when, you know, the sun's like really out, or just because you've been lying down on a really terrible cotton pillow. Silk pillows, everyone.
Silk pillows.
Oh my goodness, it will transform your hair.
And your skin.
And your skin.
Really
And your skin. Seriously, it's made such a difference in my life. It won't help your knots. You'd need to brush those out. But this will, yes, not the silk pillow.
Do you not think maybe the cotton makes it? Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, but that's quite true actually. Yeah.
My hair gets so knotty.
Yeah.
Actually,
What could you do about that? Plait
Knotty
it.
Put it in a
hair.
loose plait.
Yeah.
Some people's hair just does not.
Because of the
bad.
colour.
But Lauren's hair, yeah, if you did sleep with it in a plait, I mean, that makes a
Yeah, that'll help.
biggest difference.
But then you'll have a wave. It won't be dead straight like this.
I love the this one, the old.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that we can both use
We
that.
can both use it, yeah. This is a lighter one. I think there's the original as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Isn't
some
there?
heavier ones as well. I mean, that's really good. There's all different types.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
a spray.
There's
There's-
a spray one.
yeah.
The spray one's kind of, if anybody's got like really, really fine hair, the spray one's kind of the better one
Yeah.
because sometimes oils in the hand are just a bit too heavy.
Yeah, you'll be able to try all of this next door. It's a sort of marula oil, but it gives such incredible shine. I love this. And I sometimes sort of mix it in with things and use it as a treatment as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you can do that. I mean, just put, you know, if you have a putting treatment on and you put a couple of drops of that and then sit under a steamer.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
which I love.
Effective.
Yeah.
Can you do that in Salon? Do you?
You can do that in Salon. You do it at the gym. You can do it wherever you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, is there like a special? You have
yeah,
no, it is,
special
because you have
steam
steamers, you have proper
treatment,
steamers. So I kind of joked about the gym. I mean, it's a perfect thing to do.
Yeah.
If you go to the gym in the morning, you put the treatment on, little drop, a few drops of that, and sit in the steam room. And
Yes.
it's the same
Because does
effect.
anyone here regularly steam their hair? Oh my goodness! Honestly, it is hair changing.
Yeah, because
It
you were telling me this today. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
like,
this is
okay, so in the black hair community, again, I'll go there. Steaming hair is like, we've always done it. It's something you just do. It's not even something you even think about. So I've been doing it forever. You do it every 2 weeks, you have your treatment, and what's amazing is that you can take your own treatment, you know, your own sort of product. So I mean, in your salon, you'll have all these products, but certainly in some of the old school hair salons that, you know, I would go to, you could bring your own sort of special products and they can mix it in with certain conditioners and so on. Just put it all in your hair. You sit under a steamer for like 20, 25 minutes, and honestly, the condition of your hair, straight away you can feel the difference. It just feels softer, it's smoother. All the products have really sort of penetrated into the hair shaft. It just and it clears out your scalp. And, you know, going back to the whole thing that we're talking about today, we're talking about hair health and the fact that, you know, we forget that we think so much about the actual hair, but we forget that what's going on in your scalp actually affects the condition of your hair.
Yep.
And I think with steaming, I think it really kind of helps with that.
Yeah, absolutely, it really does. And the cleansing shampoo that you're using for your hair, that's perfect.
Yeah, I love it.
Would that be the pre-poo?
No. No, it's just a kind of, it's a cleansing conditioner. So it's not as harsh as I guess a traditional shampoo in many ways, but it still cleans the hair. I think, you know, I vary it. So you have this other shampoo here from this range, which, Ban Satin, which I love. And if my hair feels like it has a lot of build-up, then I will use a shampoo. But if I'm kind of, you know, washing sort of in between, then I'll use a cleansing conditioner because I don't want it sort of really sort of stripped. I still want that sort of conditioning feel to it. So it varies. So I kind of just mix and match, really.
And how often do you think you should go and have a diagnostic sort of advice with your hair? Like, you know, if you've gone in and you've looked at someone's hair and you've prescribed them a certain range, do you think you then should need to have some...
I kind of think every time you go into the salon, really, someone will look at your hair and kind of...
Does your hair change as much as that you're saying?
Yeah, you were saying that, weren't you?
You know, it could be weather, you know, you tend to find kind of gets to... Well, it's really cold and you've got lots of central heating and hair dries.
Yeah, so seasonally.
Yeah, so products, you know, it's always good to have a few different types of products for different things.
Yeah.
And how long before you see, like, you know, you say hair changes quite often, so you need a different prescription, but I mean, often, you know, we are what we eat, we are how we're feeling. So how long, like if you're going through, say, a stressful time in your life or a major sort of emotional, psychological change, how long before that pops out on your head?
That's a good question. There's no exact answer for that, but normally it's a delayed thing, you know. So somebody might go through shock, you know, a few months later their hair might start falling out. A lady might have a baby, you know.
Yes. I experienced that actually.
A few months later, it suddenly
my hair
starts
fell
falling
out.
Yeah, me
when
too.
I had. Yeah, did you have that as well?
Yeah, and you get all these baby hairs.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
My hair
that's quite tough.
I always have more clumps coming out in the shower, usually around autumn. I don't know.
Yeah, people have a time
and
when they
I
shed.
think, oh, it must be the leaves, the trees, it's shedding. I think
I've got that at the
be
moment.
right.
I'm literally like this, and I'm
They
like,
can't. Where's the science in that?
Yeah.
There isn't any science in
Not
that. is
really,
But there
no,
is
it
a
just
natural
changes
shedding.
the body.
But there's a
yeah.
natural shedding of hair, right?
Yeah,
that
people,
has to come.
like a cycle.
Yeah, people do. I mean, I think hair also has a certain life span anyway, and then it will fall out. It's just like your eyelashes. They last a certain amount of time and they'll fall out in order for the next one to replace it.
What do you use most in the salon, actually? What's the...
Well, I'll tell you what,
thing
this
to
is
do?
our number one seller.
Really? That's
yeah,
interesting.
cement-
That's the
cement for me.
leave-in that we both
That's
said
in
we
my
wanted.
pile.
This is
No one
brilliant.
else is getting that one.
And I think within, and with all the team as well within the salon, they tend to use that one.
It seems to be really
Okay.
versatile.
Yeah, it is
That's
really
what I like
versatile,
about
and
it. Like
it
you can use it
smells
just
really
for
good as
ends
well.
and.
Yeah.
Is that also...
looking forward to
We're all getting a
Yeah.
little bit excited here. I'd think that also, I think you're more likely to have people who will say, oh, my hair's really damaged, or my hair, you know, you won't really get a lot of people saying, oh, my hair's perfect, it needs nothing. So maybe that's also why, you know, people gravitate, because we both gravitated to that, didn't we? That because it's for
I remember
drier hair.
when I first was introduced to Kérastase, I used to be very frustrated that they used to keep giving me the pink one, and I'd be like, but I want this colour. That's a nicer bathroomy sort of colour. And
That's amazing how you
But
kind
now
of
you're
draw
there,
the
now
colour.
you're
now,
finished.
look,
Now
I
you know.
finally graduated to the right colour.
So that's your favourite as well?
Yeah, no, definitely.
It protects the hair from
And
the heat.
I'm always looking, I don't actually blow dry my hair at home. I'm so high maintenance in a salon when someone else is doing all the hard work. But when I'm at home, I'm very much...
Do you air dry it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
To what?
to air dry.
Air
Air
dry.
dry is
Brilliant
good.
thing.
Yeah, it's
really
brilliant,
good.
yeah.
couldn't
I
do
never
it.
use
Do you know what? I
never
air
use
dry it, and then
I never blow dry my hair.
I wash it, I condition it in the shower, obviously, and then I put something like this in the ends, or to help detangle and to keep the ends, because the ends is where it's. But with the air drying thing, I usually wait till it's nearly dry, and then as I'm in the cab going to wherever I got to be, I twist it in a little knot, so it's still a little bit damp. So I just twist it like that, and then as I'm getting out of the cab, take it out, boom, and it's usually then got a little bit of movement, hairdresser word, and that seems to kind of be all right. And also it stops it from getting, I find twisting it stops it from getting frizzy.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, it does,
because
you're
it's
kind of
silky,
smoothing
yeah,
the
it's
heat.
smoother,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a lot of people don't like to use kind of your normal shampoos that have certain chemicals and things, but
Yeah.
Kérastase also have the Aura Botanica, which is it's all natural. There's no SLS in it.
smells
There's no
amazing.
harmful.
Yes.
Some people have like these permanent blow dries done to their hair, and by using something that doesn't have all these SLS and parabens and
Yeah.
things like that, it makes that kind of last a lot longer as well.
There really is something for everyone. I think
There
that's
is.
what we...
Yeah.
And they smell nice
And we
too. I like
smell
the smell.
nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
because
is
we
not
were having this,
chosen.
we were having this conversation now, and this is slightly probably, you know, a little bit controversial in many ways, but there are a lot of products right now which are touting the benefits of it's all natural, it smells of nothing, and that's
Which is fine.
great and it's fine, but sometimes you just want something that smells gorgeous.
Yeah.
And this is what I do love about Kérastase. You open it and you're just like, it smells so beautiful, but it's also really good for your hair. So you can get the best of both worlds, which is what we love.
Well, and also I use my hair as a bit of a comfort blanket. So sometimes I'm like that, you know, when
Yeah,
you're, you know.
I see you do that a lot. Yeah.
And when I can smell Kérastase, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice.
So nice.